Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria and I'm very happy that you've joined me for this session. Today is a special day. I'm having a perfect conversation based on men, and you people do not want to miss out. But before I get into the big conversation of the day, definitely I will want you to subscribe, like, share, watch this video to the very end and leave a comment. And without wasting a single moment, allow me to welcome my guest of the day, VP.
Kabisa, how are you?
I'm good.
It has been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Hatujaonana kwa muda.
Hatujaonana.
Yes.
Mambo ni mingi.
Yes, mambo ni mengi sana.
Yes.
Lakini karibu sana on the blue couch.
Thank you.
Yes, so please introduce yourself.
So, I have so many titles, but I'm Philip. I'm a psychologist,
Okay.
a family mentor, a businessman, a father, just to say a few.
Wow.
Thank you.
Hey, nakwambia. Aya, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Yeah. I know we talked about how we are going to have this conversation and all, and you told me I am the right man for that conversation.
Absolutely.
And since I know you,
Yes.
and I know what we talk about,
Yes.
I know you're so definitely the right person for this conversation.
I'm born ready.
So then, the reason why majorly I wanted us to have this conversation
All right.
is because we are in the midst of a 16-day talk about gender-based violence.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, true.
And of course, those are things that touch us both men and women.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I really wanted to hear the man perspective from about everything that is going on in our country, relationship-wise. Let's talk about even family, all those things.
All right.
I really wanted my audience to have a good to hear
A male perspective.
a male perspective.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Na ninataka kitu cha kwanza.
Yes.
Even before talking about anything else,
True.
let us talk about masculinity. Masculinity. So what is masculinity?
Basically, masculinity is not somebody who does not have a muscle. Masculinity is being a man, knowing the responsibility of a man, being able to control your emotions, knowing what it takes to be a man. You see, people are becoming toxic, and that's why people are becoming, they are bringing another definition of toxic masculinity is because it's difficult to be a man. The responsibility of a man takes a man who wants to be a man. And anytime that you deviate from the responsibility of being a man, then they are terming it as toxic masculinity. So masculinity, one, is being able to control your emotions. Because if you don't control your emotions, you are now getting to the female dominion. A man should control their emotions. Number two is knowing your responsibility and doing them to the latter.
Okay.
That is the simplest way of defining masculinity.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're telling me that masculinity and toxicity should never be in the same phrase. There's nothing like toxic masculinity.
There is nothing
Uchague moja.
There is nothing. It's either you're toxic or you are masculine.
Okay.
And if you are masculine, you're not toxic. If you are not doing the responsibility that are manly, then you're a toxic.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing like masculinity and toxicity. It is either you're masculine
Or you're toxic. Thank you.
Yes, and that's how people should understand.
Actually, that's my take home today.
Yes.
As a man, choose your struggles.
Yes.
Either you're masculine or you're toxic. But you cannot be both at the same time.
You cannot be both.
Actually, I agree with you. You know, masculinity for me, I think it's something that needs to be celebrated. Because if I have a man in my life,
Yes.
I do not want to have a feminine man.
You want a male
Yes, I want a very masculine man.
that has the characteristic of a man.
Exactly.
Because
A man who can provide
yes,
and protect me.
yes,
And-
unconditionally.
Yes, please, by all means.
Yes, the moment there is condition, then he's becoming toxic. I can only provide if you do ABCD, that is toxicity. I can only protect if you do ABCD, that is toxicity. And that's why I've said it's difficult to be a masculine man. It's a choice. And that choice depends on that person. And the moment you are masculine, you're masculine. If you're toxic, you're toxic. And people will always pick you from the crowd without even saying a lot, that this is a man who is masculine and this one is a toxic one. So female and ladies should not complain that male are toxic or masculine. Choose
I need
according
to celebrate the masculinity
Yes.
and avoid the toxicity.
and bash them
Exactly.
and don't give them a chance in the society.
Sababu atakufanyia ile kitu.
No, they are ruining our good name. Yes,
They are ruining the name of the masculine man.
absolutely.
Actually, that is true.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about relationships. Sindio?
A good topic.
Because, of course, in a relationship between a man and a woman,
Yes.
a man has his own expectations.
Yes.
As women, we have our expectations, very many of them.
Very
And
many.
as I told you before, as ladies expect a man to be a provider, to be a protector,
Yes.
to be a man who keeps his word,
Yes.
to be a man who follows up on his plans,
Yes.
to be a man who is there, solid for us.
Absolutely.
I mean, nikiwa pale nyumbani as your woman,
Yes.
I want to imagine that you're coming home and I feel good about it.
Yes.
But we have guys, mtu akisikia bwana yake anakuja nyumbani anaanza kushangaa atajificha wapi. Ni wale wa kufika kwa mlango, anaanza kusema hapa ni kwangu. Anaanza kuleta sasa faraga, any bad things there in the house.
Yes.
Kids start hiding, their mother starts shivering.
Yes.
Everyone is in a bad position. So you understand?
Yes.
This is my expectation of a man, right?
Yes. Yes. True.
I also understand that men have their own expectations, right?
Very many.
So what
also.
are the expectations of a man in a relationship from a woman?
First of all, I want to say that before even we get to the relationship as per se, is it starts from the choice. And that's why I advise very many men. If you want a person who will not disappoint your expectation, it is very, very important to take them out. And not in the club, not even in the church. Take them to a restaurant. And I prefer Java. Java is very quiet. It has very good environment.
Okay.
Do not buy alcohol. Don't even buy coffee. Coffee is a stimulant. Buy juice, cold water, or maybe perhaps a yogurt.
Okay.
Sit across the table. Ask difficult question before you make the choice that this person will not disappoint me, and we shall not even get to a point where we are fighting. We shall be comfortable. Ask them difficult question. Ask them where they will, what is their short-term goals? What is their long-term goal? What do they want? How many kids do they want? All right? Ask them even and very, very awkward questions. Do you snore at night? If you are not comfortable with it,
But then do you think anyone will be honest with some of these things?
they should be. They should be.
Okay.
Ask them very difficult question. Very uncomfortable question at that time. Dates are not for sex.
Okay.
Dates are for breaking the ground. Knowing that if this person can communicate, is this person confident? Are we heading in the same direction? You see, I was telling some people some days that a spouse or a girlfriend or a boyfriend who does not cheat does not qualify to make a very good spouse.
What do you
Of
mean?
course, I'm not saying that they should cheat, but I'm saying
Okay.
there should be other things. That person a good communicator.
Okay.
Is that person healthy in terms of cleanliness and tidiness? Can that person raise your kids? All right, those are the expectation. Is that person a business-minded person? Does he have financial discipline? You see, those are some of the expectation a man has going to a relationship. And so nowadays, in the society today, the problem we have is that girls, ladies, women feel like the moment I can bring my body, I have what it takes to be a wife, to be a girlfriend, and to be part of my somebody's life. And I want to say, as much as it doesn't augur well with so many ladies, is that a man can access somebody's body very easily. But it is very difficult for a man to get a person, not for their body, but for their companionship. Because marriage is not in the bedroom. Marriage is in the whole companionship, and companionship cannot be for everybody. Companionship is not for the night. Companionship is for the day, when you have kids, when you're broke, when you're sick. all right, is for a lifetime.
Okay.
So the expectation we have is, are we getting the first person, the best person from the word go, from the foundation? That's where the expectation is. The moment I say I do, then all the expectation I had, now they are down the drain.
Okay.
It is with you for better, for worse. But for women, it's not the same. You women,
why are you speaking for us?
because I have some experience with them, and yours is conditional. Ours is not conditional.
No, I think as people love unconditionally. Why are you saying that we love conditionally? Surely.
You love conditional.
No, we don't.
Let me explain a little bit about condition. You love conditionally because for a person, for a lady to choose me, they have to ask so many questions. Even if you hears that somebody is dating me, or your best friend is dating me,
Okay.
you ask them question. Where does he work? Does he have a car? Does he have a business? All right? Those are conditions.
And I'll tell you why we are like that.
Those are conditions. But when I tell a guy, I'm seeing somebody, they don't ask me those questions. Is she working? Does she has a business? No, they ask me, how does she look like?
Those are conditions also.
Conditions of looks
Yes.
are not as big as resources.
In fact, let me tell you something.
Yes.
All those are conditions. All human beings love conditionally. As you stated before, women, our expectations from men, this.
Yes.
The reason why we are like that
Yes.
is because us women are survival oriented. Okay?
Yes.
I am looking out for myself
Yeah,
and
true.
for my children.
Yes.
Do I have a man that can provide for us, protect us, take care of us?
All right.
Eh?
Yes.
Can this man do that for us? Is he a man that my son, I would like for my son to look like? Unajua kuna ule mwanaume unaangalia hivi unasema, hey, if my son looks like this, tumeisha. My entire generation is done.
Absolutely. And the problem
So I'm
is,
looking at the man and I'm
Yes.
saying, I mean, it isn't about the conditions that I'm laying for the man.
yes.
It is about my desire to survive and for my generations to move well after me. So I have to look for a man who is worthy of the name patriarch.
The word worthy word worthy is underrated because you, in other words, you want to say that you want a traditional man
Of course, I want a traditional
who can
man.
provide
Yes,
and protect.
yes, please.
But the question is very simple. Can you be a traditional woman?
Of course.
You as Victoria has no problem being a traditional. But the bigger question is in the society. Why do we have a 90% divorce and separation? It's because most female want a traditional man, but they don't want to be a traditional woman. Being traditional, I mean, are you able to take your traditional responsibility unconditionally? Am I able to take my traditional responsibility unconditionally?
Okay.
That's where the rain is beating us. But the moment we shall solve that, then we shall have a very, very, very healthy relationship.
Okay.
Yes.
So to complete this, to conclude on this part of expectations, you are telling me that what you need as a man
Yes.
from a woman
Yes.
is a traditional woman who can nurture and love the family. Sindio?
Unconditional.
Unconditionally.
Yes. For better, for us.
For better, for us.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because hata mimi kama vile nimesema, my expectations of a man is a man who is very traditional.
True.
I prefer the traditional man.
Yeah.
Yule ambaye anajua kile ambacho anataka.
Indeed.
And he does exactly what he says and he
And
holds
what he
space
does.
for his family.
What he says and what he does.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so then let me ask you another question. Today we can see something that imeingia in our society, empowerment of women. And I'll say something. Number one, empowerment is very important.
Absolutely.
Sindio?
Yeah, absolutely.
We cannot have women who are not empowered. You know, the reason why I'm asking you this is because I've had so many men complaining, oh, female empowerment is bad, female empowerment, we don't want women who are empowered. But just imagine a society where women are not educated, women cannot even speak for themselves, women cannot run businesses, women cannot hold positions of leadership,
True.
women cannot even choose leaders of their choice.
Absolutely.
Hiyo ni society ya aina gani? It is very bad.
It will be a very retrogressive society.
Very true.
Retrogressive.
Yes.
Empowering women, ladies, our girl child is not a bad thing. but it should not be at the expense of a boy child.
Okay.
You see, the problem arises when the ones that we have empowered in terms of jobs, in terms of appointment, in terms of affirmative action, even in the constitution right now, which is a good thing, is when they feel like it's a competition. It's not a competition. You see, the problem is that the interpretation of empowerment from your gender is not the same from our end. When you empower women at this time of age, they get a lot of money. And when a woman gets a lot of money, psychologically they say that they get a sense of independence. I can do it my own. I can protect myself. Can buy a gun.
Which is okay.
Yes, I can protect myself. I can provide for myself.
Yes.
And the moment that spirit, that sense of pride kicks in, then the man is brought down to his knees. Because if I am not providing for you, if I'm not protecting you, then I have no space in your life. So that's where the problem is. As for empowering women, I'm a father of girls, and I like teaching them what even men know. All right? I have taught them everything. I have taught them skating. All right? The other day I taught them how to disc jockey, DJing. Anything that I know, I'm teaching them because I want them to be empowered.
Okay.
I tell them that I am teaching them to be boys, to think like boys, but act like girls, which is it has no problem. But again, you have to strike a balance that even if you're empowered, you should not forego the traditional responsibility. If you're a woman, you are an empowered woman. If you're a man, you're an empowered woman. It should not be competition. It should be complementing each other. And that's where the problem is.
Okay.
So empowerment should be both. The problem is that right now, even the government itself is just empowering the boy child, the girl child, and it's not empowering the boy child. And again, we are empowering the girl, but we are not preparing the boy child for the empowered girl child.
Which is why we are having this conversation, because personally, I feel that it boils down to the family. And I'll say why. Number one, the only person who can train a boy to become a man is the man.
Yes.
Sawa sawa.
And no one else.
If our men do not take up their responsibilities to raise their sons and daughters to become the people they are supposed to be, then we are doing nothing. Sindio?
Yes.
Allow me to tell you something. Wakati Adam aliumbwa, sindio?
Yes.
God gave him a responsibility to name the creations.
Yes.
The first responsibility that a man is given is to give an identity.
True.
To everything that is around him.
Yes.
Your family is your kingdom.
Yes.
It's your domain.
Yes.
Can you give an identity to them?
Yeah.
Do you give an identity, a positive identity to your family, to your sons, to your daughters, to your wife? But then you see the modern man now, okay, and men across a number of generations, they have been seeking to bring the woman down.
Unfortunately,
they seek to bring the woman down because they feel as if she shouldn't be up there, which in my opinion, I think is very wrong.
True.
Mwanamke anastahili aelevetiwe afike ile point yenye she can do what God called her to do in the society.
Absolutely.
Sindio?
Yes.
Now, when the women do that and the men take their responsibilities also, then we are going to have a healthy society.
Yeah, true.
But I disagree with the people who think that empowerment should not be there for girls, should not be there for women. And kitu ingine ya pili, mimi nimeangalia nikaona pia wanaume, they endanger themselves more than even the society itself endangers them.
True.
Have you seen the women are reckless, drinking?
Yes.
Yani vile vitu ambavyo anajua vinamuumiza zaidi. That is exactly what he does. The gender is endangered, and then the man himself endangers his life even more than it is already endangered. I want us to pause this conversation at this point so that we can have a part 1 and a part 2 for the same, okay? So guys, I want you to follow our conversation in the next episode, and trust you me, our conversation is going to get hotter and better, and you do not want to miss out on how this ends. Kindly subscribe, like, share, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.